Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Friday Fun Place. It is a beautiful day here at Gulfstream Park, and we are at 10 Palms on the second floor. It's the place to be when the live racing season is at its prime, which it is right now. Champions meet. Tyler Gaffleone, homegrown boy, swept the early double, and I actually had an exacta, chalky, but I had an exacta, and this is Friday the 13th. Defo, no triskaidekaphobia here. I am plunging double-fisted today. I don't think Friday the 13th is necessarily unlucky.
The more negative the karma when it comes from the gods of gambling, Friday the 13th, usually the luckier I am.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the other bleeping days of the month. That, and this only comes around, what, every 3-4 months?
I think it's like 3 times a year. Yeah, something like that. So
I'm in favor of it. In fact, it's funny because I was having the worst luck this week with just about everything I did. I managed to salvage what I could out of what otherwise would have been a catastrophe in a lot of different venues. And sure enough, today I'm having like a great day. Everything's working out. So.
That's funny. So it's counterintuitive, but for some people, Friday the 13th can be very lucky.
Well,
And
I
we're
mean, that
hopeful.
shows you that, especially among this crew, and I don't know where Lubie fits in because he only, he's on the periphery of degeneracy here because he knows a lot
I
of
hang with the
degenerates.
degenerates.
But yeah, I mean, it's rare that we would have a lucky day. That's for sure. So of course it's appropriate.
And you got
this
some
is the
tips. My
13th.
brother got some tips. We're all going to be betting tip dogs all the rest of the day.
I don't know if I'm going to be betting this horse, but I did get a tip when I was doing the banquet the other day. I did want to mention this. I have to say I'm not a big fan of banquet food. I don't know where you weigh in on this, Mike Mayo. You've probably been to some festive ones.
You're not going to
Usually
any banquets.
it's very
for the food.
disappointing. You end up eating nothing. Lubie will slobber down most of the stuff, no matter what it
It's
is.
free.
We're at the stage now. Obviously, anyone that watches this show realizes that we pretty much eat anything. But the Deer Creek Country Club at this luncheon I was at, it was served buffet style. But the food was great, high quality by comparison to almost any banquet food that I've had. And it was very simple, but they had a nice carving station. All of that was high quality. The turkey was especially good. A tremendous salad array and arrangement, which you could pick out what you wanted yourself. Very good job, Deer Creek Country Club.
Nice.
Which,
a lot of times these country clubs do have established good chefs. A lot of times they're kind of accomplished chefs that have been at major restaurants that just get tired of working all those 16-hour days. And when you work at a country club and you just basically have to be there and prepare some luncheon stuff and some banquet stuff, but you can be home by 4 o'clock and it's more conducive to family life. So I know a bunch of good chefs that do work the country club circuit. So it's not surprising.
Not easy to do, though. I mean, and these guys were working so hard. And a lot of times it's a disappointment, as I said. I mean, you're getting medallions of filet mignon, which essentially means
they call
you
it,
got one forkful, and that's it.
They call it the rubber chicken circuit for a reason, because a lot of these, places, and
it's hard to do.
Not to begrudge any chef at any of these banquet halls, it's hard, but a lot of times you're making 500 dishes and they all have to come out at once, and then inevitably things get a little bit overcooked. So that's why they call it rubber chicken. But meanwhile, we're here at 10 Palms and they knock out a lot of daily covers. But look at Lubie had the B-roll cam going with the food. We got some really good food.
Listen to you with the terminology.
Yeah.
Well, when did you pick that up, man?
I've been around
the
the broadcast.
Oh, that's right, because of your appearances on PBS.
I used to be on PBS. I was on This Week in South Florida with the classy Michael Putney.
Oh, really?
Wait a minute. Get out of here.
Really?
You obviously never watched those shows. You were busy watching
I love
the
Putney.
coaching show.
Putney's great, but he retired like 20 years ago, didn't he?
He retired only about 4 years ago.
And it's still good.
And I did, when I was the Metro News political columnist at Sun Sentinel, I was kind of a semi-regular. I'd be on there like once,
it's funny,
once a month.
how good you are as a guest on these shows.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you wouldn't necessarily derive that from watching these shows, but no, you're very good when you're doing those things. PBS should hire you, Mike Mayo. They definitely should.
I don't know what their
Maybe like a
If
budget
Michelle
correspondent.
Bernstein ever retires, man, I think you got a
that would be the
spot.
Mayo.
I'm
Mayo
yes,
experience.
I'm looking.
Are you nudging her
I'm
to
looking
retire?
at her just the same way that
Oh,
Iron Eagle
Eagle
is with
looks at
Jim
Nance.
Nance. But
Eagle doesn't need Nance to retire, but
And
Lubie used to look at me that way because
you
I
might
could see it in his eyes through the glass when we were doing radio. He was just praying I would walk outside and get hit by the B bus on University Drive or maybe a jitney or something. But
nobody wishes harm to anybody
I don't.
except
Some people
Luigi
may, but I don't.
Mangione.
no, Lubie
Yeah.
did. I think he did.
So where was I? I was talking about. Oh, so besides that, I was one of the early forerunners on the Golf Channel. They would have me in as kind of a golf writer,
Makes sense.
expert, talking head.
You're interesting. Look at you.
And then, of course, then guys like Tim Rosafort just became huge in the whole TV field. And
Yeah. He was great, by
the
the way.
late great Tim
Great.
Rosafort, and another untimely passing this week of another golf writer.
Is there a
golf
timely passing?
Well, it's
Maybe you're in your
some-
Like if Dick
90s.
Van Dyke checks out at
when
100,
you hear
is that an untimely
99,
passing?
it's not as
Untimely.
unexpected as a guy I used to work with on the Golf Beat who also did a lot of stints on TV and also worked for the Golf Channel at one point. Jeff Babineau, Babs was his
I knew the guy.
nickname,
Yeah.
and he worked at the Orlando Sentinel for a long time.
Right.
Hell of a nice guy, and he unfortunately checked out this week at age 62.
Listen to you using check down as
Well,
a
I'm sorry,
a
he
reference.
died.
Yeah,
No. The check down is good.
No, it was very unfortunate. In the middle of sleep, apparently he had some heart attack or something. It was just very tragic, and I just want to pass along.
So that was
fond-
untimely, is what you're saying.
saying it was. It also gets me wondering. Like, I've never read about anybody like having a heart attack in the middle of eating a cheeseburger. You hear about
I'm
people-
sure it's happened. It's
you
really
hear
times,
about
yeah,
it, and you don't really hear about it happening in the middle of a podcast, broadcast, TV show. So, like, if all
I think Bob
do,
Murphy checked out there in a Met game.
did he?
Didn't he? I don't know. Did he die in the booth?
I don't know about
No,
that.
I mean that would be very awkward.
because I
for the
think
people
one way to
around him, yeah.
ward it off is this. if
There's
I
a
just-
fly ball, a line drive, and the
Way
next thing you
back.
know, he's dead.
It's like the
Yeah.
ending of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
But no, I was just thinking if you keep eating cheeseburgers, then you would maybe never die because I've never heard about anybody
There you go.
passing away in the middle of eating. a
Test it out. You got the
It's
sliders.
usually at some point, in the when you sleep on the couch or passed out. I don't know. But how did we get to here?
I don't know how you got there.
You have some very morbid.
I do
like,
have
trains
morbid
of thought.
thoughts. Yes, I
I'm in
do.
good. I'm in a good
You're
place.
often
We're here.
mentioning doctors and blood pressure.
I've been
Yeah,
here
and
in 3
then-
weeks. I missed.
And then
coming out
Facebook
here.
shows me the picture of myself from this date 9 years ago when I ran a half
I
marathon.
can't believe
that
that
was
was
you.
only
and
9
I
years
look
ago.
and I look like half a
Man,
male.
Lubie hit it right.
I
That
don't
was
know,
you.
that was you. I'm like, why did you show me some random dude?
And then I
You got like number 765 on it. Like that.
I
Like,
asked-
who is this guy?
and I ask friends, what happened? Then he goes, food. Food
Yeah,
is what
food,
happens.
yeah,
And that's
food.
it. I went to the
I
food
mean,
beat.
we've said it a million times, Mike Mayo. The
2016.
most often asked question at any reunion that goes like 20 years or beyond is what happened to you?
What happened to you?
Yeah.
Food happened.
It's
And-
nice, though, one thing on Facebook, if you do make a little bit of recovery from this physical catastrophe that you're working on, when people start saying, hey, you look great,
Yeah,
which meant
that's
that
the other side.
you've
of it.
recovered from looking like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes when I show up in person and like I'm dressed nicely, they'll say, well, you look good.
But that's patronizing and very
No,
gratuitous.
no. No, it's because when we do these shows, the camera really does add
Oh,
at least
stop
10
it.
to 15
I don't know what it
pounds.
does. I look the same here or in real life, so I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to make myself
Yeah, I know.
feel
I
better.
understand what you're trying to do.
You always put us in the most unflattering positions, by the way, on the show.
You say that's what it is. Usually sit where it's covering you. So the times where you're not covered,
He's
like,
the only
oh.
guy. Yeah. I mean, he's the only one that picks a spot.
Because I was like in the middle where you're
Everybody
covered.
else says, you're over here, Luke. Defo, you sit
Well,
over there.
no. Sometimes I gotta find my best.
Your best angle,
This-
exactly.
The real key to it all is how do you feel? And if you feel good, and look, there's a lot to be said for feeling good.
I feel
There's
great.
a lot, but
I've said
I
this
think
before.
you're really like rationalizing a lot of
feel
things because
I'm in a
Lubie
really,
and I have genuine concerns for you. We really do.
Well, I'm glad
And
you
we're
do.
hoping in 2025
have-
you get back on the path.
I have all the appropriate doctors. I've got all kinds of tests lined
No,
up.
but 9
and-
years ago you were running half marathons.
I know, but
We're doing this.
You're
Are you
not.
doing this?
You're not old
You might
enough
have been
to be
doing this.
just shrugging that off and going, "Well, yeah, that was
But
9 years."
look at the food I'm surrounded by every day, and you talk about like the
This slider,
the high quality of even just going to a banquet one day at a country club. We're at top-notch
every day,
restaurants.
every
And Joe Beja, what he's done here at 10 Palms is absolutely astounding. You have the camera rolling. He's got a hamachi crudo appetizer
How come
now.
nobody's tried that yet?
Because
I did. It's fantastic. It's really nice.
I'm getting to it. And
Send
we
that
have
to
the
Mayo, yeah.
fried chicken sliders,
It's
which
really
is
good.
new on their winter menu.
Fried chicken. That's what that is?
Yeah, it's fried chicken slice. We had it
slider.
before. It's really
That
good.
is not for the most health-minded. And
No,
then I've
it's-
got the Greek salad,
You got
which
a
I love
salad.
here.
But you usually don't make
Got
much of a
fish.
dent in that. By the way, you owe me a block of that feta cheese, which I like a lot.
Okay. I'll give
You
it
do a
to you.
good job with that.
I'm going into the
And
Hamachi.
we're going to Casa Calabria later. Is that on for
Supposed to.
sure?
Yeah.
we're going to show up and we'll see what
We don't know
happens.
what's happening.
We'll see.
We've had a
who's
few
there with
big,
us.
operations
who's there
out
with
there.
us.
Yeah. But we end up at the Tiki Bar and they say, "What are you doing here?"
Yep.
But I love Frank Tallarico, so I hope it comes off.
It'll be good.
People in the restaurant business, their schedules are ever fluctuating.
Yep.
So when you think you have something set up and then something happens at the last minute,
Mhm.
so we'll just roll with the
I
punches.
have to say, you do a good job with the arrangements, Mayo Man.
It's
For your many flaws, you really do well with the arrangements on the
and
show.
it's not easy. There's a lot of moving parts these days because we've been blessed with being aligned with so many great places. I mean, just alone this week. I mean,
That thing at Batch, was
Batch
great.
yesterday.
Yeah, wow,
How
Kevin.
good is Kevin? He has an evil
He's
streak
great,
in
man.
him, which I
Yeah.
like.
He does.
Those ginger shots.
That was a lot.
Nobody
Well-
likes to egg you on because he is the biggest advocate of the unfortunate big bite, which
Right.
I believe if we really wanted to be a hit with the show, you should do one every show.
No, I think this goes
don't want him to pass
completely
out.
contrary to
I don't need
what
him
you
to pass
just.
out.
And Lubie's trying to
admonish-
make you a TikTok star,
I just don't want him to pass it out.
and he's doing well with that. But I mean, you got to play the hits. I was just talking with the great Chris
Yeah,
Fisher, and he says you got to play the hits, and that would be the big hit.
Well,
You could make us all rich if you would just continue with this.
I'm going to amend
regular
my
basis.
previous comment about nobody ever dying in the middle of a cheeseburger. I think if I keep doing big bites, at one point it might kill me. If not from
Well, because you might pull a
Coronary
Mama
events.
Cass, you might just choke on a ham
might,
sandwich.
might pull. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that was as we've later discovered, a complete myth. She actually died of a heroin overdose, but they
Well,
they
it sounds
cleaned up.
better if she died choking on a ham sandwich
Right.
and she was like shooting.
I mean,
you know.
who dies choking on anything except maybe
No,
me?
that
I'm not
no,
doing
no,
big bite.
you can't possibly do that with that.
Brian's like Mayo on OnlyFans would make millions. Just have you doing the food
with the
stuff. You're just
ASMR
eating,
and
yeah.
a big bite.
You're
cook
just
on
eating
combined.
constantly, and people are just watching. How can that man eat that way?
Well, we're
That would be
eating,
worse for him.
we're eating well as usual. The new fried chicken
I think it's
slider.
fantastic.
And they always have a fish special on at 10 Palms. Today it's a trout. I think it's a
You said rainbow trout.
Now,
so
how
I
are you
don't know
with
what rainbow
how are you
trout
with
is.
trout? Because I'm not. I never have been a big trout fan. It's not like I haven't tried it, but yeah, wouldn't necessarily be my go-to
This
fish
is-
order.
it's a delicate fish. This one I think is a lake fish, so it's a little bit smaller, thinner.
But
But
I notice you're smothering
it's-
it with the potatoes.
all right, forget the potatoes.
Yeah.
It's
No, go ahead. I mean,
It was good. I enjoyed
it's
it.
good.
eat it any way
It's
you
topped
want.
with a little rock shrimp, but I like the creaminess with the mild
nice flavors.
texture of the fish. And
Yeah.
I just keep shoveling more and more food in my mouth.
That's Jersey Kyle made the observation that the show essentially is you shoveling food in your face.
And yet somehow here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
It's working. And we've been here at Gulfstream now.
Is it 2 years?
You realize this?
Are we at
people?
2 years?
2 years at
Wow,
Gulfstream.
that's crazy.
2 years, yeah.
It
Nice.
started in the first week of
Is
December.
this an anniversary?
No, last week
wasn't
was
it
act-
December.
it was actually last week, and
Oh, we
I
are
kind of
missing
I
weeks.
lift we missed it last week with Lubie gone, but it was the first week in December of 2022. So we have been here for 2 years.
Does
Don't
Dave Joseph come on
don't
today?
say
to
it
commemorate?
too loudly. No, I didn't see Dave downstairs. I saw Ron Nicoletti and
No,
the
nice.
whole rest of the gang, the handicapping and press crew down there. And we always have a great time. Joe Beja will be here later to talk about the goings on this month. They're going to have a New Year's Eve buffet, $99.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
That really is.
And live music, dancing. People, I've got people asking me, "Oh, where do I go for, some nice, lively atmosphere, a supper club?"
And you got a casino.
And you got a casino, and
Yeah.
it's a great deal. And you get a champagne, sparkling wine. Toast.
Gambling, New Year's Eve, drinking,
They go
lots
hand
of
in
food,
hand. Yeah.
dancing, music, always good.
They go very.
Meanwhile,
hand in hand.
tonight you'll find me at Batch because at the Fort
Oh,
Lauderdale
yeah.
location, they're going to have their, shots for tots. Where if you bring an unwrapped toy, you get a free shot. There's also going to be that
I think you
Bad
were bombed
Santa?
yesterday off that first shot that you drank of whatever that
the ginger,
whiskey was. Yeah, no,
Well,
not the ginger thing, but
the whiskey. Well, I was bombed on several things yesterday.
And
but
how
it was-
cool was that? The way they had the ice cube. That was a
Yeah,
nice touch.
he has the big
That's
ice
like
cube.
the
Yeah,
The single big cube
old-fashioned.
has become the big thing.
that
to
was a
do.
nice touch.
There we go. And Oh, speaking of shots, I got
There's your man, Safi Joseph.
Safi
Just one
going
for him.
by. Yes, he is on fire. Leading trainer here at Gulfstream, and always successful.
Was
When
that
you
a
see his
bum
name-
rap he got in Kentucky? I really think
I
it
don't
was.
know, and
Yeah,
I really, at this
really
point,
believe it
it's
was. Yeah.
water under the bridge. Oh,
Yeah, he's
so I
still
was going
training.
into shots yesterday, shots tonight at Batch, but I got shots this morning. But I'm talking about the type that RFK Jr. is going to outlaw soon. I got 2 vaccines. I got my shingles and my pneumonia. We're back to the health report. Have you gotten your shingles vaccine?
No.
Jeff Defo the first. Have you ever had chicken pox?
I did have chicken pox.
So you
as
need to
everybody
get
did.
your shingles vaccine.
Everybody says that, but you know what? I think RFK is crazy, but at the same time, I've seen people, and I saw this posted online on a few places that people they always recommend you get the flu vaccine.
The flu
And every
one's one
time
where,
I've done it, I've gotten sick.
You sound like my daughter now.
No, it's true.
She
I mean,
avoids the flu vaccine
every
like the
single
plague, so-
time I got it, I got like not deathly ill, but I mean I got sick, and I don't get sick very often. I mean I'm very lucky in that regard.
No.
So I'm like, don't mess with success, man.
Look,
I
vaccines.
mean, shingles is different than them.
Unless
The
you're
flu,
going,
and I agree. I don't know.
The
Shingles is
shingles
a little
thing,
different.
yeah. I mean
Shingles is a
my
little different. The vaccine
primary
will stop you
care-
from getting shingles. Like, that's a
yeah
good thing.
primary care physician recommended it.
we are not health professionals.
No,
All I
no.
do is go by the advice of medical professionals, and they
Although,
tell
what
me.
is that little blotch on your neck?
I went to the dermatologist yesterday,
He was
by the
really
way,
at the dermatologist.
Nothing.
and I was clean as a whistle. He said, "You're flawless," and I said, "That's what."
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not true.
So, so that don't try to
Even
get
Lubie's
the
taking shots now,
hypochondriac
yeah,
No,
yeah,
in
I,
me
well, he
out.
knows he's not flawless. Who's
Bottom line
flawless?
with these vaccines, okay, I can understand people are averse to the flu vaccine because even if you get the flu
You'll
shot,
be
had no
fine.
luck with them.
sometimes you're going to
Still
get the flu anyway.
yeah.
All right, but the thing is with these other ones that have really good efficacy, and that's a fancy word for pretty
They're
much
effective.
doing what they're
They
supposed to do.
Yeah.
Again, if you've had chicken pox as a
Getting
child,
older, getting shingles
it
is really bad.
means it lies dormant in your system, and you have the possibility of getting shingles.
Shingles
and
is
shingles
rough.
can be a very rough disease.
Oh, that's a tough.
And it actually afflicts people who are younger because I know this because
Oh,
somebody in
interesting.
Val's family just got it, and she was only in her 30s.
Wow.
So again, it wasn't the roughest ride because when you're younger, your immune system fights back. But again, particularly for people in their 60s and 70s, they said, you get your shingles vaccine. It's a 2-stage thing. You do one, and then you do another one 3 months later. They said the side effects can be, kind of you get a little bit of some Viclem. Yeah, you get a little bit of a fever. You might get some soreness.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great now.
Oh, good.
So,
Good.
and that usually doesn't hit till 24 to 48 hours
Yeah.
afterwards. But I just think I had chicken pox as a kid, and I'd rather avoid getting shingles if I can. So
So would I. It
Smart
doesn't look,
man,
it doesn't look
smart.
pleasant. That's
the
for sure.
bottom line is you don't know what's going to happen with the FDA and
Yeah,
various
get
federal
every
agencies.
shiny
Oh, no, they're all going to
and,
be
and-
closed
and
down. Yeah.
what's going to be allowed and what's going to be covered by insurance and what's not going to be covered by insurance. So while it's still covered by my insurance, I
Yeah,
figured I
run
might
and
as
get it
well
done.
go get my
I may go and get
shots.
it done too. Then I
This
thought it
is
was more for old people.
send in the clowns, man. What are we, a month away from this actually taking home?
Yeah, well,
yes, a month and a week.
January 20th.
A
But
month and a week.
So I'm a little nervous about a lot of
I'm
these
extremely
appointments, that's
early.
for sure. I like that Tillman Fertitta
Yes, your favorite.
became the
Did you see
ambassador
that?
to Italy. Lubie and I had him on an interview where he literally, I mean, it was the most hostile,
Who is this guy?
adversarial interview
The
we've
owner of the
ever
Rockets.
had. He's the owner of
Oh.
the Houston Rockets. And
okay.
of course was one of the,
The
he wasn't really an
UFC.
investor in the MMA, UFC. It was his brother, but filthy rich guy. And he wrote a book. We're doing like a stroke job interview with the guy. He took offense at something I said right away. It was very Mayo-esque. And I was trying to kind of lead him into it in a very gentle way and more or less put him on a positive note. He misunderstood what I was saying, and the rest of the interview was a complete piece
So
of crap.
wait, he's going to be a diplomat
Yes,
now a
yes.
diplomat.
Oh no, he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
no patience.
and he's
Defo was
poor
saying.
at both communication and understanding or smoothing things over.
Well, it
if
was
things
like-
get
he
Put
was
over.
it
saying-
politely, what an asshole.
We will be at war with Italy.
He was
within the
saying,
next-
a lot of billionaires tend to struggle in the sports world. It's impressive how successful you. Because remember, this was when they had Harden and they were competing for
yeah,
championships.
no, they
It's
had a good team.
impressive what you've been able to do. Why do you think so many really wealthy people struggle in the sports world? He's trying to
sharp
uplift
business
him.
people. Yeah.
Right.
And the guy was like, "What do you mean? We don't struggle." It was like,
Like,
of
how many
course you
teams have you
struggle.
owned?
Oh, he
Yeah.
What
thought you were
billionaires
painting
win?
a broad brush against all rich
Yes.
people
Yes.
because they're all egomaniacs who think
Yes.
they're the only
got
ones
weirdly
who,
defensive.
and that they're better and smarter than everybody. And that also, that if you've never made a payroll in your life, you have not
It's
not
impossible
entitled
to
to
do.
have an opinion. So
He asked me how many teams I've owned.
Yes, that was his retort.
that's exactly
Yes.
what I get from like the Wayne
Yes.
Heisingers of the world when I used to
Yes.
tick
Yeah,
off
yeah.
those
I
people.
was like, well, I don't
So
know.
this
but-
guy's going to be an ambassador. I
Yeah.
mean, we lit a flame, ignited a
In
spark
5
with
Well,
this guy,
maybe
trying to compliment him.
maybe the Italians like the argumentative type because
He certainly would, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. You know what? Let's take our first break,
Yeah,
but I
we
did
get
want to
into
get
things.
into one topic before we get into food and contests.
You
and
mind
Joe
if I get up
Beja.
and make a quick bet here?
I do, because I'm going to ask you a question. You know what? Let's take the first
Let's
break.
take a break
Go
and
make
then
your
we
bet,
can
and then I
ask
have a
questions.
question for you, which is what's the most you've ever paid or would ever pay to attend a musical concert?
Oh, Jesus.
But that's
And I have a big-time tipping question for
Okay.
this Christmas
so
season.
you go do your thing. I'm
Yeah,
going to
this will
talk
take 5
about
seconds.
Visit
my
Lauderdale,
thing,
right?
which is Visit Lauderdale, the Food and Wine Festival. It's coming up. Go onto the website, vlfoodwine.com, and you'll scan all the different events. A lot of them are selling out now. Some of those intimate dinners around town are sellouts, but you'll see what you can still get into. And again, the big 5 signature events, there are tickets remaining for all 5 of them, although not the VIP for the grand tasting. That's gone. But you can still get the 5 big signature events, and you can get an extra savings, 15% off if you use the promo code Lunchbox. Once again, just put in promo code Lunchbox when you're checking out and buying your tickets, and you'll get 15% off the already low ticket prices for the Wednesday cocktail competition, the Thursday Asian theme walk and roll, the Friday barbecue bash battle that's going to be taking place for the first time in a new venue that has a live fire, open flame cooking.
Yep,
Saturday,
super stoked.
it's going to be good. Saturday, the grand tasting. Sunday, a new brunch ticketed event, and the Saturday and Sunday events both at that Las Olas beachfront park right there, A1A and the beach. It's going to be a great time. Go online, vlfoodwine.com. Use the Lunchbox promo code for additional savings.
All right. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from Gulfstream Park's 10 Palms after this.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. We're back on the lunchbox. I've got chicken slider in my mouth. And Defo, did you have a winning ticket there? How's the luck?
I did not. I got split here, as you saw. The horse that was 4-5 looked like just very solid on the track, so I ran Ortiz, conceding the race there. But I bet him with the 9, who was 4-1 finally.
Splitsville.
Final odds, and they couldn't quite get up.
That's my usual, whether it's Friday the 13th or not. I always get split in my exotics, which is never a good feeling. But
yeah, I mean, it wasn't like this was going to be a giant score or anything.
it's all right, but we're here.
It would have been nice to hit.
And it's
The score
always
is
a
a
winning
score.
day when you come
Exactly.
out to 10 Palms because you get some great food, great libations, great service. Going to have Joe Beja in a minute. But first, let's get on to my question that I asked. Because this morning, tickets went on sale for a number of concerts, and I did score some tickets. But Pearl Jam is coming to play at Hard Rock Live, the little, the concert venue at the Hard Rock
Which is
Casino.
ridiculous.
And it's great. It's a beautiful hall. It's only 7,000. Usually Pearl Jam plays in
Really
arenas
nice,
and stadiums,
really nice
with
facility.
30,000
It's great. It's just
people.
every concert there is utterly insane
Yeah.
because it's so little.
So what they did was they had what was called a pre-sale, and I registered for it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's
And-
impossible to get through to those.
You don't have any pull there from your
Well, I
gambling endeavors?
I maybe could at some point try. But I wanted to do things through the, kind of the regular
Conventional means?
conventional means.
When have you ever operated like
That's
that?
weird.
I go in, and I got my pre-sale code. I got in the
Oh, get outta here.
queue.
You did
I
all
was
that?
in the waiting room 15 minutes before 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, it opens, and it says, I am number 10,452 in line.
No way.
And it's like, this is
That's
a
a lot
venue
of people.
for 2 dates. Now, I didn't know if that was for all the people for all the Pearl Jam concerts that had been released through the tour.
Pearl Jam there?
The
That's
bottom
pretty good.
line, I thought, the minimum price was $175. And I know, okay, it's not even the worst seat in the house at that venue is pretty
No,
good.
it's great. No,
Not
that
bad.
place is great.
Yeah.
So I was willing to fork over $175 per ticket, and I was going to actually buy some for some friends as a Christmas gift. So I was willing to, pay like,
Oh,
I was looking at
you must have come in with some real money.
8 sticks. Well, I got the refund from the Gap insurance on the car, so that would pay for these tickets.
Okay.
8 sticks. And I go online and I try to get those. It was on the 3rd level, 175 each, and they kept blocking me, and then they were all gone. And then the next thing I know, the only available tickets left was for, even in the mezzanine or in the bottom row, $940 each ticket.
Over.
And when I
You're certainly not buying those for your friends for Christmas gifts at that point.
just for shits and giggles, I
Give them a
pressed,
$100 gift
like,
card to Dunkin' Donuts. or
how
something.
much would it be to buy 4 tickets at those rates? It was $3,730.
Yeah. See you later.
And-
How was the show?
And I would never ever pay that amount to
No,
go to.
never.
And I've never seen Pearl Jam. It's on my bucket list. I want to see them.
Okay, you got to go. With
But what is the most that you have ever paid, and what is the most you would pay?
Oh, wow. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of freebie connections
Right.
in my
Mhm.
lifetime. So I'm not accustomed to paying anything for
Zero
these kind
and,
of shows.
and,
Yeah.
and zero is what he's
I wouldn't pay a dime to see anything. I mean,
Really?
yeah. I mean, even a Super Bowl, if I wanted to go,
okay.
I'm just not into
Because you've
spending
been
that kind of money.
enough
You get
places
advantage.
throughout
Yeah, you
your
get to
life.
do it.
Yeah.
And-
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
would I pay $100 for a ticket? Sure. Would I pay a deuce if I really wanted
Let's
to go?
You
Maybe.
know, like somebody you like, you're into the blues, like Carlos. If you saw like Carlos Santana or something like that.
But you can see these guys for nominal fees. I mean, you can go get a Santana
Yeah, it's
ticket
not like
somewhere
that.
for like $60.
maybe in
whatever, but-
1987.
No, I mean,
I don't know
I don't
about.
know. I don't know. Santana
He
probably
plays a
small
lot of. He
venues.
plays a lot of
Probably plays
reasonable
smaller
venues.
venues. Probably
Yeah.
small venues.
No, I would not pay in excess of a few
Okay.
$100 for
Well,
a ticket.
here's
So
what I did. Go
so
ahead.
I,
Yep.
being in radio, I got very spoiled because literally, especially when you're cool with all the stations and you deal with the promotions people and you become really close, like you get everything free and it's usually the biggest concerts. So I was very spoiled. I was very much where Defo is, where I either got a free or I didn't go. Then I met Shirley, and she really, this was not this Taylor Swift, but the last time Taylor Swift did a thing, and Shirley had never seen Taylor Swift, and she loved Taylor Swift. So I think I spent like $400
Woo.
for 2 tickets. It was 2 tickets,
That's
400.
200 a piece. That's
And-
actually reasonable.
Well, now it is. It wasn't then. Then it was and they were good tickets, but they weren't like floor, but they were good seats. They weren't super high. So I did spend 400. The most I'd spent, I don't know. Like I'm where Defo is for me personally. Either we find a way to get in, or I just say screw it. It's not. There's nothing. I
Pass-a-roo.
saw Jay-Z and Kanye West. I saw Nas, who's my favorite artist ever. I've seen him 5 times. Like I've been to the Super Bowl. I've been to the NBA Finals. Like getting paid to
Right.
go there. So to me, it's hard to like. For my wife, yes, I will. I would probably spend $300-400 because I don't want to hear her. But for me personally, like I don't. There's no one like that for me that I like. Really
Right.
want to see so bad that I'm going to spend $1,000. Like it's
I
just
basically
it doesn't work for me.
You know, I have regrets that I never saw David Bowie in concert. Now he's no longer with us. There's a couple other groups. I wish I kind of went to a Grateful Dead show. I never went to a Dead show.
You know who's playing, and I was going to see if you had connections here. Parker Playhouse, and also I believe the Broward Center is Bob Weir. Has
Oh,
a band of
okay.
a
He's
really
a
good
great-
band. He's
When
playing
is it coming?
playing like 4 or 5 dates. I don't know if
'cause
maybe you can call your friend Tracy Ritter and get us in because
Stacy.
Stacey
the
Ritter.
lovely Stacey Ritter.
Stacy Ritter. But 4 or 5 dates at 2 different venues.
Okay, my buddy
December
from college.
next 2 weeks. 2
Oh,
weeks from now.
okay. My college buddy Eric, was a huge Deadhead. He went to scores of shows throughout
Yeah.
the Northeast in his early youth, and
I saw the Den at the Fillmore
explains
West. That
his
was the only
brain
time I saw him
damage,
live.
but-
Yeah.
But no, he's a big Bob Weir fan. He's going to be in town. My friend Eric. At
Well,
the
you'll
end
want to
of
go
January.
to this.
So
yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be around. but
No,
we'll-
it's late December,
December.
and maybe a date the
All right.
1st or 2nd of January.
Oh, but meanwhile, as far as Pearl Jam, because I do want to see him. Here's what I ended up doing.
What you did was
You
actually
bought
very
2
smart.
tickets for yourself.
No.
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 No. What you did was real
They
smart.
are also, they announced and the dates and the pre-sale for the full tour today on Ticketmaster. So I saw that they were going to be performing May 8th in Nashville, Tennessee.
There you go.
And I've got a buddy, my good friend Ed Gigliotti, whose dad was a great Boston
He was here.
Red Sox.
We met-
yeah, you
we met
met
him
Ed.
up
You
bunch
know,
of times.
you know Ed. He used to work at the Sun Sentinel. Anyway, Ed lives in Nashville. Val's
Oh.
never been to Nashville. I looked and I was able to score $170 tickets in
Oh, there
Nashville,
you go. Now
and
you're
I
talking.
bought 3 of them for less than
It's
$600.
probably good seats
And-
actually because it's in a bigger venue.
Well,
So
it's in a
170
big
was just-
arena, but it's also on the upper levels. But it's again, I just want to see a
Be
Pearl
there.
Jam concert,
Okay.
and now I was able to get 3 tickets at the appropriate price, and I'm going to get some good cheap airfares on
Yeah.
Southwest,
Yeah,
and
'cause that's
have
that's
a
sort of a
free.
downtime.
We could get accommodations through my friend Ed because he has a nice
Oh.
house that has
Oh, nice.
guest rooms. So
Oh, that's cool.
we might be loaded up. We're going to take ourselves a trip, and it'll
That's
be
smart. For that
cheaper-
amount of money, at least you'll get a
cheaper
trip out of
than
it.
one ticket at
Yep.
the Hard Rock. Even if I go through my avenues there, they're going to say, "Oh, all we can do is get you a face value ticket, and the face
100%.
value is $700." It's craziness. So
Bob Weir going to be in the Broward Center, I guess, for
Yeah,
the Performing
good
Arts. 27th, 28th, 30th, and 31st of December.
oh wow,
And then
Anything
moving
in
on
January?
the 2nd and the 3rd of January at the Parker Playhouse.
Parker's a good place. It's a good venue.
So you get us some tickets, man.
well, I mean, okay, if I want to.
Stacy Ritter. Stacy, we love you.
Nick,
We got a dozen bagels
Nah,
from Grandpa's
they don't
coming
have
your way.
any- They don't have any pull there. That's a different thing. That's the people over at the the federal. Maybe Sarney can pull some strings with. I don't even know who runs the.
Sarney is
Parker
unlikely
anymore.
to go to a musical concert. I would think. He
He's
doesn't look like a musical.
He
guy.
loves Mandy Patinkin.
He really does.
He does.
The
As an
Tankin, the
artist,
Chevrolet people.
Mandy
No,
Patinkin.
the guy who was on.
But he did Criminal Minds and he's done a lot of other things. But
he's
he's
a Broadway
singer?
singer. Yeah,
Oh,
he sings
I don't know.
very well. And Sarney is totally enamored with him. He loves Mandy Patinkin. And
seems a very Sarney move.
it is a very Sarney
Ask him
thing.
about Bob Ware. Never mind.
Yeah,
Patinkin.
Sarney, hook us up, Bob Ware.
You want to do a contest before
We
Joe
do
B
need to get into
gets
a
here? And I know
contest, yes.
Joe is tied up with something.
Okay.
I wanted to maybe break the news or share the news when he gets here, but I ran into somebody I know from a local brewery that is one of my locals,
Okay.
and that I think that it's a done deal. But the folks from Three Sons Brewery are going to be taking.
Yeah, he said
over.
they were going to be connected.
Yeah,
with them.
that. Oh, right. He already mentioned.
Joe's talked about that.
Yeah, great. So Corey was
I don't
here.
talk about it on the air. He's talked with us about it.
Yes,
I don't know.
Corey Artanis, who is the brewmeister behind Three Sons Brewing in Dania Beach, and they do some great beers. But they're going to be partnering up. They're going to be taking over one of the bar spaces here on the second floor,
Oh, nice.
outside on the kind of courtyard perimeter area. And then they're also going to be installing some taps and have 4 of their great Three Sons beers
nice.
right here in 10 Palms
Nice.
coming up. And they're hopefully, Corey was literally, he had his measuring tape. He's taking measurements for the
Oh, that's
counters
cool.
and, putting in the kegs
they
and
do a
things
great
like that. And, so good beer along with all the good food and good wine and all the good stuff here. 10 Palms is coming up soon. You know what? Let's take the second break.
Yeah.
I'll tease the contest one more time. And before the second
You
break,
got a theme this week or anything? You had Pearl
Yes, I
Harbor
do.
last week.
no, Pearl Harbor was not the theme last week. We ended up, because that would have been too
Oh, that was
macabre. We ended up going with
That would have
Cotton
been like
Candy.
the ISIS logo that they have on the
That's
Veterans
It
Salute
was
Bowl or whatever
Cotton
that is.
Candy Day that we did last week with Casa Sensei, which has cotton candy as a
And you had 2 people in the
complimentary
pod
to-
at the end of that.
yeah, it was
That
good.
was good,
And
yeah.
people knew Casa Sensei has the cotton candy. This week we're going a different direction. Cupcakes, because Sunday is National Cupcake Day.
Where'd you get that from? Let me guess.
It's got to be Sarney.
No, I looked it up myself
You
on the
did?
National
Really?
Food Holiday.
Is every
calendar.
day a national something?
Yes.
It
food
is.
day?
It-
Yeah, every
Everything's
day.
actually like 5 days.
Today is the most ridiculous one I've ever seen.
Doesn't that diminish the meaning of the
You
whole
would
thing?
think, yes.
It does. There's some days
Well, they
that are
repeat
just,
too. They like repeat Friday and they repeat Burger Day and Taco. Like they do the National Day thing is stupid because it's not just one day.
no,
some
and
things have
some
like
of
5
them
days.
are just totally bogus. But yeah, I forgot what today was. It was something that 2 things that had nothing to do with each other. It was like ice cream.
National Singles Shot Day?
Wait, I'm going to look this up before. You know what? What I'm going to do is
Take a
tell
break.
everybody about Tropical Acres, because you can still get in for their great holiday Christmas Day. It's filling up fast. The reservations.
They
book.
do New Year's Eve too?
They do New Year's Eve and
Ah.
Christmas Day. They
That's
are
a good spot
closed.
to New Year's Eve.
They are closed New Year's Day and Christmas Eve. But Christmas Day, 1 to 8 p.m. New Year's Eve, their normal hours, and they'll go a little later with a little bit of a, I guess, bubbly toast. But call now for reservations, 954-989-2500. We love the folks at Tropical Acres. The Studio Alley family will take great care of you. Go in there this weekend. Again, they have happy hour on the bar tonight, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 with all those great deals. And of course, they have the great prime rib, rack of lamb, seafood, anything you want. Go into Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Today is
How come you have a scratch sheet, by the way?
a scratch sheet. No, that's my show
Who
sheet.
does notes?
No, this.
Oh, that.
I mean, no one gets these anymore, do they?
Oh, I love that. I love the pocket size program. I'm a traditionalist, and it's very easy to look at your.
You give those away
entries.
free, or you have to pay
Yeah,
for them?
well, my brother sells them
Well,
for
no,
$1.
I know. They're $1 a piece.
And then I can get them through.
Remember, you had the debate whether to just
Through-
get the scratch sheet or buy a form,
Yeah,
and the forms were like 50 cents.
I like the pocket edition. Okay, today is. Oh well, tomorrow is National Bouillabaisse Day. That's a little
There you
esoteric.
go. Wow, that's
I
a
didn't
good one.
want to do
No, it's weird.
a French.
Where can you get a
restaurant, but-
good bullion base?
Oh,
meal?
today is Ice Cream and Violins Day. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Ice cream and violins.
Yeah, the
Sorry, can you
Stradivarius
fill
and
me
some
in?
vanilla
I
ice.
don't know. Let's take a break.
That's
and,
ridiculous.
we'll be back with
Bullion
hopefully
base.
Joe
What's your thought
Beja.
on bullion base? Because I saw a bullion
I've never
base the other
had
day
bullion
when I was
base.
out at a restaurant. I was at the Sea Watch across the street from my
There's
place.
bouillabaisse out there.
And they had
French
what looked like
restaurants.
a spectacular bouillon base. It was like $35, I think.
Something stuck.
Giant bowl.
Good.
And literally, this lady was pulling like lobsters out of there and clam. I mean, like,
Jesus.
really was loaded with a lot of stuff.
I never like food where you need another bowl besides the bowl you have for all the empty shells.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it gets a little.
Well, I mean, it
intricate.
wasn't like they were chinsing on the stuff. I mean, she was literally pulling like live Maine lobsters out of it.
We'll be back with more and a contest for National Cupcake Day on Sunday after these words.
All right.
For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and information, go to. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and look who's here. Joe Beja, Executive Director of Hospitality at Gulfstream, just in time for our contest, but we will tease the contest a little more because Joe has got many things on the agenda, including that great New Year's Eve buffet that's going to be happening right here, and we were talking it up. That's a great value. Live band. It is.
A live band and a DJ to cover the band on their breaks.
Nice.
$99. It'll be a glass of Prosecco upon arrival, champagne toast or a bubble toast, excuse me, maybe Prosecco again at midnight,
bubbly, something bubbly.
So bubbly, but a bubbly toast. So glass upon arrival, bubbly toast at the end, and a full buffet for $99.
That's a good deal. And again, just getting any kind of entertainment is hard enough to find these days. So this is going to be a great, and you have the menu, right?
I have the menu here. So it's a great menu. Again, we're doing the tickets through Ticketmaster. So if you go on our website onto www.gulfstreampark.com and click on New Year's Eve events, it'll take you to the website for Ticketmaster to purchase tickets. We're not doing open table for this particular adventure. But the buffet itself will include a full salad bar, so Caesar salad, like our 10 palm salad, heirloom tomato, etc. And then there's also going to be imported domestic cheeses and charcuterie station. The starters will include like a honey cheese fondue.
Fondue.
Wow, lobster tartlets, and then brie, pear, and almond
everybody
purses.
loves brie and pear. Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
The seafood bar. There'll be a seafood bar that'll include the Gulf shrimp, bay scallop ceviche, and oyster gratin.
Okay.
Sushi and sashimi display.
Okay.
So a beautiful assortment: tuna, eel, crab, salmon, and California rolls.
All right.
Well, a carving station will include a roasted leg of lamb, prime rib, and a honey ham.
Ooh, leg of lamb. That is definitely,
We are pulling out all
you're
the stops.
enhancing it for the New Year's Eve festivities. That's great. And then you got also other.
So there'll be
entree.
other entrees and sides for our, the hot buffet. Butter poached Maine lobster with saffron risotto.
Wow, yeah, pulling out all the stops. $99, and you can keep going back for more
as much as you want.
All you
it's
can
not
eat?
like one ticket and they let you go one time.
Doors will open at 8:30 and buffet will close at 11:30.
That's a fantastic deal. Any pastas on there or some side
wild
dishes?
mushroom ravioli
Beautiful.
with porcini truffle cream, crab stuffed salmon imperial.
Eh.
We have lemon herb roasted airline chicken
I might
breast.
be coming here.
We have
Well,
spinach.
we know you're going to be in there with a
spinach
freebie.
ricotta cheese cannelloni, twice cooked pork belly. Sounds
Nice.
great.
Twice cooked.
Yeah.
Well, what happened the first time?
They had to do a little more. No, that's
More
a
fire.
very famous Szechuan dish.
Yeah.
Is that the worst thing you could hear in the kitchen when the guy comes back, the waiter comes back, and he goes, "Hey, more fire!"
Little neat.
The chef automatically comes out with some kind of negative,
No, of course.
expletive-laced diatribe.
And then the sides will be Gruyere potato gratin, crispy fingerling potatoes,
cheesy potatoes.
That's for a stick.
glazed
Yeah, one stick
Wow.
with
There you
live
go.
entertainment,
Yep.
and you get a couple of bubbly toasts,
Yes.
and you get
How about
bar.
a $2 voucher?
You
You're
could
going to throw that into it?
Well,
Yeah, for the races in Chile.
Yeah, but the harness races. Well, you're gonna. Now, what time do you? What
At that
time?
time of night.
8
do
o'clock,
people come?
8 till
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock till 12:30.
So you can
Again.
start scarfing at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Buffet will
good.
close by 11:30.
11:30, and then you'll have that final toast, and then kind of everybody will have to mosey on along after a final dance at midnight, kiss your loved ones, and that's good. That's a great time. I am recommending it to my friends that are looking for places.
Oh, that's great.
Because a lot of times people get, places are always fully booked, or they charge $500 a couple. This is like the right
500 a
place.
couple. I remember years ago going to South Beach and paying $500 a person for a thing, and you got like a half a stone crab.
Oh.
The service was horrible, and here you're taking care of yourself.
And speaking of that, and speaking of Ticketmaster, because the tickets, again, available through Ticketmaster, and you just look up 10 Palms, New Year's Eve,
Correct.
Gulfstream Park. I was on Ticketmaster this morning doing a little ticket shopping, trying to get Pearl Jam tickets. I'd never seen Pearl Jam. It's on my bucket list. They're coming to the Hard Rock at the end of April.
Correct.
I
Two
got
dates.
lined up for the pre-sale, and by the time they let me in, the only tickets remaining, Joe, $940 each.
Wow.
And you know what? I said no sale.
No sale.
What I did is I scored 3 tickets in Nashville for $500 and change. So for less than the price of one ticket here, I'm going to make a weekend of Nashville in it with my buddy and with Val, and we're going to have a good time. What's the most you've ever paid for a concert? I asked Defo. His number is 0 because he's gotten so many connections.
Yeah, a lot of good freebies.
I think I probably paid maybe $300 or $400 to go see the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
At the Sphere.
No, not the Sphere.
That was here?
It was here when they were here like a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was in August. I think they even moved up the concert one day because there was a hurricane coming or something like that. So I remember I went from a Saturday to a Friday, and I think the tickets were $300 a piece.
Mick Jagger is a force of nature.
Yeah.
He's still able to move around. But I mean, for a band like that where you don't know, it could be their last go around.
Exactly. That's the way I looked at it. But Pearl Jam, I was fortunate to see once. I'd love to see them again.
Are they good in concert?
They're great.
Yeah.
Okay. So
they're really good.
I'm looking forward to seeing them in Nashville. If not, couldn't get the ticket. Again, when I rang up like
for
4
$900,
tickets,
you should be able to go
4
up there on
tickets,
stage.
it gave me a grand total of $3,730. I was like, I could get dental work done for that amount of money.
Well, here's the thing about the Hard Rock Live, and I love, I have a great connection over at Hard Rock, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed I can get a ticket or two.
Oh, geez.
But it's small. It's a small.
Yeah, 7,000.
It's
It's
only
like
7,000.
right.
So
and they're
you know,
usually playing 30,000 arenas,
exactly.
20,000
So
arenas.
when anytime anyone goes there and it's in such high demand, the ticket prices they're going to go up.
Traffic should be no problem that night too.
Right. Easy peasy. Just take the helicopter in.
But if you're going to go see them in Nashville, they're going to play at Bridgestone Arena. I'm
There
sure.
is. Yes, they are.
Which that's amazing because it lets right out on Broadway.
That's
I
good.
mean, it's just
Because
you
I
go-
could go right on the back of those pickup party trucks and just
There
start
you
doing
go.
shots with all the bachelorette parties.
You know what they do in Nashville too is they have those tractor pulls. They have a flatbed with a bar and it's a tractor that pulls you down
yes,
the
I've
road.
seen those, and
It's amazing.
I kind of am a little bit more sedate. East Nashville, where my buddy lives, has some really cool areas, Five
Yeah.
Points, and some good bars and
Yeah.
stuff. So I love Nashville, and I'm looking forward to getting up there for a show. All right. Meanwhile, we got to do a contest, Joe.
Yep, we do.
And you probably don't know it, but Sunday is National Cupcake Day. So, last week we had cotton candy. This week we're going to do cupcakes. Last week's answer was Casa Sensei,
Yep,
which
that one I knew.
and have you been there? Have you had the cotton candy?
I have
dessert?
not.
Okay,
I should.
It's okay. I know a lot of people like it for the atmosphere because it's right on the canal. But it's been hanging in there, going for 6 years. But anyway, this week we're doing National Cupcake Day Sunday. So here we go. Time for the giveaway. You email the answer to this week's restaurant trivia question along with your horse selections for this week's Saturday contest race right here at Gulfstream. Contest race this week, 11th and final race on the card, which is the Tropical Park Derby for 3-year-olds going a mile and 16th on the turf. It's a full field of 14, including 2 also eligibles. You give me a number between 1 and 14. And again, if one of your horses scratch, you'll get the post-time favorite. And then this week's tiebreaker is Dolphins at Texans on Sunday at noon. Sunday at 1, but you got to get your entries into me, MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday the 14th. Who do you like in that Dolphins-Texans game there, Joe? He's hesitating. Let's face
I
it.
think
they're-
Texans at home. I think,
Yeah.
but not by
Defo,
much.
do you
'Cause
have
don't
any
know what you're getting
opinions
out of
on
CJ Stroud.
your Miami Dolphins?
On the road against the Texans?
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is where they lose. I'm going to go Texans on that.
Yeah, I got Texans by 11 points. That's what I
I
picked.
don't know about
But
11.
11.
I don't know. I was going to say
They should be
I-
in the game. They're in there with a chance to
I
win.
have
was
no
gonna say
faith.
like 6 or
I have
something.
no faith in these Dolphins anymore. So
You just hate the Dolphins. I admit it, man.
I've turned. I wanted to root for them. I wanted to
there's
like them.
bitterness there. I
All
mean,
they do is break my. I don't.
by the way, on the sports topic, I got one for Joe because he's a big Yankee fan. But why Juan Soto left? It wasn't the money.
Sweet.
If you had a choice of living in the Bronx or Queens, where would you go? Queens every time. So that was the final deciding factor.
I don't think these guys live in either the Bronx or
No, they're
Queens.
living,
No.
they're
No,
living
no,
in
no,
the
They're
city.
Westchester. They're kind of.
Yeah, I was just reading an article about Anthony Volpe, the shortstop, bought a penthouse apartment overlooking Central Park. So
Oh yeah, they
He
could
takes-
do that,
yeah.
or they could go the Billy Joel route these days with this money and buy a mansion out in the Hamptons and just helicopter into the games every
true.
game. All right, let's finish this contest with the what restaurant questions. All right, we mark National Cupcake Day with a bygone restaurant. That means a restaurant that no longer is with us. This Plantation Strip Mall restaurant across from the Broward Mall closed earlier this year after a 20-plus year run and was known as a popular spot for ladies who lunched and was also beloved for its fresh-baked cupcakes. Anybody have any clue of that one?
Strike one.
no,
Give us
Clue
some
number
more.
2, the restaurant had a condiment in its name, the one often found on hot dogs and pastrami sandwiches. And no, it's not mayo.
All right.
got it.
LOL.
All right, we're
And
getting
number,
close. We're getting
number
warm.
3, chef owner Tim Boyd and his wife, business partner Lara, continue to offer cupcakes and other baked goods for home delivery and during the holidays through the restaurant's Instagram account. So if you still love this place's cupcakes, they're still available for home delivery. All you got to do is go on their Instagram account, which I cannot give out at this point because that would give the answer to the question. All right. Those are the 3 answers. Those are the 3 questions. Give me the restaurant. Give me a horse number between 1 and 14. And
I'm
give
going
me
with the one
the
ball.
winner of the Dolphins-Texan game with the margin. Good luck and happy weekend. All right. Do we have one more break?
We do.
Okay, we're going to let Joe go. But one last thing. I know you saw my man, Corey Artenis from Three Sons
Yes.
Brewing. Can you announce anything? Is there deals in the works? Or
we're working on a couple of things.
Yeah.
Something with them on site. and possibly a special beer. We're working out the minimums, like a special beer for our Pegasus race.
Okay. Oh, for the Pegasus Day.
Yep.
But they also might be kind of having more permanent inclusion on
On the track.
the beverage menu and also possibly a stand around here. That's great.
Give me a couple of weeks.
Okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Corey with his measuring tape, so things are shaping out real good.
There you go.
And it's great beer. I love that dope.
I love their beer. I love their beers.
It's good stuff. All right. Thank you, Joe. As usual, sorry about those running rebels last Friday night. What do we got on tap this week?
Oh man, we lost the game. We lost our coach. We got a new coach, and all in a week's time frame.
There's always basketball season, right?
Dan Mullen, right?
Dan Mullen.
Mullins.
Yeah.
Mullins a
He's
nice
an
one.
accomplished coach.
He's a
I'm
good
happy
coach.
UNLV got a named coach.
He's a good
Like
coach.
we're not going back to the offensive coordinator from Mexico State.
Seems
or
like a
something
good
like
guy too.
He's a,
Yeah.
From his
he's a
media
good coach.
appearances, I really like
that.
that.
Yeah,
Mullen.
I think he just that last year at UF really did him in, and that was it. It undid all the good he did prior to that.
Yep.
So it is what it is.
With less expectations,
yeah.
I think he'll have fun there. I think you guys got a nice hire.
I think we're moving in the right direction.
Good luck.
Thank
All right,
you.
Joe. Thanks for everything as usual. Get those tickets now for New Year's Eve, $99. You're not going to find a better value around town. Ultimate enhanced buffet, live music band, along with a DJ and a bubbly toasts. $99 a person. Ticketmaster, Gulfstream, 10 Palms, New Year's Eve. Be there, 8 p.m. till a little past midnight.
Yep.
Thanks,
Exactly.
Joe.
Thank
All right.
you, everybody.
Let's take our final break, and we'll be out of here and move along to our next destination after these words. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to Eat. All right, we're back on the lunchbox, and we're going to wrap it up. But before we do, let me put in one more word about one of our great sponsors for this weekend, holiday season. You got family in town and looking for an ultimate luxurious evening, Casa D'Angelo, 3 locations, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, Aventura, just south of the track here. Boca Raton, we got our chef friend Ricky, and in Fort Lauderdale, the 2 Angelos, Angelo Elia himself and Angelo Massanova, great chefs, unbelievable, impeccable quality ingredients. The wine selection is unsurpassed. Service is great. It makes a great celebration for the holidays or for any occasion. Again, CasaD'Angelo.com. And it's I'm going to be having to make a pit stop in there
Yeah,
at
you
some
gotta get
point.
in there. That
Meanwhile,
sounds great.
speaking of the Casas, we got all the Casas covered. We're going to be going to Casa Calabria. We'll see
Yes.
if anybody's there. And we're trying to put together some little bit of acorns into the nest for the holiday season. So we might be live at 3:30. We might have to come back and do it again. I hope not. Frankie and Chef Salvatore at Casa Calabria,
Do a
they've
great job.
redone it in there. It looks spectacular. Defo saw it the other week when we sent
Yep.
them there on a
By
wild
accident.
goose chase. And I'm still blaming Apple for that one.
There you go.
But we're going to be there at 3:30, and you should go in there this weekend too. Casa Calabria, waterfront dining, Ocean Manor Hotel. Also, great Italian food. Salvatore, chef, is from Italy. Makes all the authentic classics. His gnocchi cannot be beaten. And we'll see you there in a little bit. Until then, enjoy every sandwich.